Hi friends, today let's put Belle from Beauty and the Beast into the spotlight. Belle is the young woman who takes her father's place as the Beast's prisoner and learns to not judge a book by its cover.
Come into the light.
A lot of people think that Belle means beauty, which really isn't helped by this line in the opening song, Belle.
Now it's no wonder that her name means beauty.
Belle doesn't mean beauty in French. Beauté means beauty. Belle means beautiful. In the original story that this movie is based off of, the main character isn't actually called Belle, that's only her nickname. She goes by a few different nicknames in the original story. She's known as La Belle Enfant, which means the beautiful child, La Belle, which means the beautiful girl, or La Petite Belle, which means the beautiful little girl. Her real name is never told in the story, just her many different nicknames. In the original story, Belle is very clearly described as having blonde hair, but Disney wanted to pull her away from some of the other blonde Disney princesses they already had, like Aurora and Cinderella. The original story is, as is very common with Disney movies, very different to the movie that we know today. In the original story, Belle had 3 brothers and 2 sisters. Belle's sisters hated her because she was more beautiful than them and she attracted more male attention.
Maybe some other time.
What's wrong with her? She's crazy. He's gorgeous.
Though Belle was born into a rich family in this story, her father lost their wealth and they ended up having to move into a farmhouse. Belle's sisters hated living in the farmhouse and kept wishing for bigger adventures and for more amazing things to happen to them, but Belle was really happy in her simple country life. As you can tell, this is the absolute opposite of what we see in Belle in the Disney movie.
I want adventure in the great white somewhere.
In the original story, Belle is in the Beast's prisoner. In a way. Her father sells her to the Beast after her 2 sisters refuse to go with him because he was a beast. When she gets to his castle, the Beast explains that he is there to serve her. He gives her jewels and dresses, and every day he asks her to marry him. Each time she would refuse, she was hoping a handsome prince would come and save her and she would end up marrying him. Up until then, Belle had refused to marry anybody who would propose. Her reasoning was she didn't want to be away from her family. But because with living with the Beast she was already away from her family, she was letting herself dream of handsome princes and castles and white horses. The Beast and Belle would have long conversations, specifically about things that they had in common, and through time they fell in love and decided to marry.
There never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.
Could you read it again?
Belle's sisters were turned to stone until they could learn to not judge people by their looks. This movie went through several different drafts and overhauls of the script before it was produced. The first draft kept the idea of Belle having 2 sisters who hate her, much like in the original story. However, it was soon deemed that these 2 sisters were too similar to Anastasia and Gisela, Cinderella's stepsisters.
I'd be honored, Your Highness. Would you mind holding my broom?
So a second draft was created wherein Belle only has 1 sister who was going to be named Clarisse. Belle and her sister would have loved each other dearly and were very, very close. However, they were also going to have an evil aunt named Marguerite who was going to hate Belle and therefore embody the idea of the 2 sisters from the original story. Then in 1989, the then Disney chairman Jeffrey Katzenberg asked to review the script and ordered a complete rewrite. He found that the story was way too dark and way too dramatic, and the idea he had was a movie that was almost like a Broadway musical and it had a feminist twist. Katzenberg decided to hire Linda Wolverton for the rewrite. Wolverton decided to base Belle's character on Katharine Hepburn's Jo March from the Little Woman movie. The story of the Beauty and the Beast has been adapted many times over the years, including in 1946 wherein Jean Cocteau made a movie about it. Linda Wolverton decided to completely avoid this movie. She chose to not watch it whatsoever. This is because this movie went a really weird direction with the story and she didn't want that to affect her writing of the story. She was worried she would either copy it too much and it would go a bit weird, or that she would try and not copy it at all and it would therefore go a bit weird. Wolverton decided that Belle should be an avid reader and really into literature, but also be a feminist.
It's not right for a woman to read. Soon she starts getting ideas and thinking.
Gaston, you are positively primeval.
Why, thank you, Belle.
Belle's voice actress Paige O'Hara suggested that Belle has a French accent due to her origins, but Disney vetoed that idea. Before O'Hara was considered for the role, Disney was considering bringing back Jodie Benson after her amazing performance as Ariel in The Little Mermaid.
Love to explore that shore above, out of the sea.
Belle is the first of the official Disney princess lineup to have hazel eyes. However, she was initially going to have grey eyes. She is also the first official Disney princess who can sing but doesn't sing the main song of her movie.
Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, Beauty and the Beast.
Many fans have noted that Belle is the only person in her village who wears the colour blue. This was done purposefully to show that Belle doesn't fit in with her village. She's an outsider and she's very isolated.
Oh, I don't know. It's just that I'm not sure I fit in here. There's no one I can really talk to.
Disney remade this movie in 2017 into a live-action movie. Not much was changed about Belle for the live-action remake. She was still an avid reader. They only added the fact that she was also an inventor.
What's he doing?
The laundry.
Her relationship with her father Maurice is also slightly different in the live action. It's more strained and awkward at first. Once Belle discovers when and how and why her mother died, Belle and her father were able to connect and understand each other a lot more.
I know what happened to Maman.
Then you know why I had to leave her there. I had to protect you. I've always tried to protect my little girl. Probably too much.
I understand.
This closeness and fixed relationship doesn't really exist in the animation. What's your favourite book? Please tell me in the comment section down below. And until next time, happy bubbles! If you want to see any of my other videos, you can click on the box on the left to find out quite a few facts about the Enchantress, or you can click on the box on the right to find out if Gaston was cursed by the Enchantress. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos.